Hello, friends. This is Scott. We're back in my Salt Lake City backyard looking at my espalier apple tree, one of them, and we're loaded this year. If you go back in my prior videos 2 years ago, I had a bumper crop, probably 50 plus fruit, and then last year I didn't have a fruit on this tree. So this year I kind of did a rough count, and I've got probably 120 plus apples on this tree. So yeah, it's I think it appears to be an every other year tree possibly, maybe some small crops in between. But again, I did not have a single apple on this tree last year after having my first significant harvest. So I'm real excited this year to have this many apples. Plenty of applesauce looks like in my future, thanks to my mother. Well, I'm just going to give this tree a little bit of a haircut. Now, this isn't a how-to prune an espalier tree. This is just kind of a late summer, give it a little bit of a haircut. What I'm just doing is looking at the branches, just pruning them off above the fruit. And if I do find a branch that doesn't have any fruit on it, I will go back and cut it the way I usually do it, which is 4 inches off a main branch and then any side shoots 2 inches off that. But right now, I'm not following that rule much. The only rule I'm trying to follow is do not cut off any apples. That's just, again, trees could be thinned, and so I probably should, thin some of the fruit. But again, I've been waiting for fruit, significantly on this tree for years, so I'm not going to cut any fruit off here. At least I hope I don't. But yeah, I'm excited. This is just one of the trees. Several of my other apple trees are loaded with apples too. They're smaller apples, and I think I probably should have thinned them a little bit. But yeah, we'll see. But here's a closer look at what I'm doing. I'm finding the apples, and I'm just making sure that I don't cut the apples off and just cutting right above it. In the fall, I will give it a more, fully haircut, more to the 4-inch, 2-inch rule. But that'll be, after harvest, and I'll get it ready for winter. But yeah, some more close-ups to kind of see what I'm doing. I'm just nipping off the tips and just wanting to do this just to make it look nicer. Plus, hopefully the tree will put more energy into the finishing off the fruit than it will in continuing to grow these longer limbs above the fruit. So that's the plan. But as you see here, this tree is really loaded. Now there's a good example of one that doesn't have a fruit on it. So I just pruned it all the way back. I probably should cut a little shorter, but that's probably about 5 inches. I think I cut that one. But anyway, just doing my best to make this tree look a little more presentable and conserve some of the energy so that it goes into the fruit production. But yeah, didn't spend a lot of time on this tree. I probably took 20 minutes, 30 minutes to prune this tree out and just trying not to cut any fruit off. And I violated my rule. There we go. That's my one and only mistake today. I lost a fruit. It makes me sick to my stomach when I do stuff like that. But again, there's plenty of fruit on here, so I'm not going to lose sleep over one apple, but I wish I wouldn't have made that mistake. But yeah, this tree is, again, it's an espalier tree. And the reason we grow it this way is so that the fruit will grow close to the main vines, be within easy picking distance. And I do it because I'm using property lines. In my little suburban yard, if I grow mature apple trees, they're going to shade out all my other plants. And I've got plenty of shade already with other trees in this yard. So I planted these along the fence lines to utilize that space to help cover up just a white vinyl fence, and also just to be able to have fruit in a suburban yard where I normally wouldn't have fruit and still be able to grow other things. Now, if we sell this house, this is the tree that I'm going to miss the most. This is the one I've been babying for years, and it's now finally paying off, and it seems like that's the way life is. As soon as something starts to work, you got to make a change, and somebody else will enjoy it. Some speed pruning just to get through this tree and just to kind of show you what I'm doing. I didn't want to give you 30 minutes of pruning because that would just be rather boring. But yeah, I'm just again nipping and shaping a little bit, and as you see, Mr. Lincoln has been around at my feet a little bit. But yeah, but here's a look at my finished prune job. Again, it's nothing fancy, nothing special, but yeah, you can see the fruit a little bit better after this little bit of a haircut. And again, there's at least 120 fruit on this tree, I think. So I stopped counting after the top branch. I had 100 on the top, I believe, so, or the top tier. And there's 3 tiers, so yeah, we've got lots. But yeah, if I get all the apples I can get off all these trees this year, I'm gonna have a lot to share, I think. And again, my mother likes to make applesauce, so I'll be supplying her with some of these apples. I always forget the name of this apple tree. I think it might be a John of Gold. But I'm not positive about the name. It's one thing I do is I very rarely keep track of what I plant name-wise. But yeah, there's a look a little bit farther away so you can kind of see the shape of the tree. And see some of the fruit on there, and yeah, I'm happy. Again, it's that's a lot of fruit and for a small family, and I'm excited to have it. So anyway, that was a simple little video just to show you how this espalier coming into its own and producing lots of fruit. And again, it's probably an every other year producer, so we'll have to see how this goes. But I may not be here to see it produce again. So yeah, that's life. There's always change. But anyway, if you like these type of videos, please hit the subscribe button. I could really use your help in growing my channel, and I really appreciate your viewership. Thank you, and have a great time in the garden.